COVID-19, disasters and karma, is the global COVID-19 pandemic, and various disasters are related to collective human karma. About this issue, in 1992, Venerable Master Hsuan predicted this epidemic and gave us the answer. Venerable Master Hsuan is eminent monk from Heilongjiang Province, China. Born in 1918 in Shuangcheng County, Jilin Province, China, and Parinirvana on June 7, 1995. One day after he parinirvana, Venerable Master Hsuan's whole body suddenly turned purple. In Buddhism, this is known as the Golden Buddha body tinged with violet. It is only for Mahasiddha, Tibetan language. Druptap Chenpo. He spoke at the Gold Wheel Sagli Monastery in Los Angeles, on August 14, 1992. Mentioned twice about the new pneumonia. The medical professionals also bound and be unable to do anything. The prediction of a new type of pneumonia that is more terrifying than AIDS. The following book was printed after the Venerable Master Hsuan talks about new pneumonia in 1992. Let's read together what Venerable Master Hsuan said. More vicious than AIDS. New pneumonia that over half of the human population in the world is going to perish. And those who will be left will be people who cultivate the way, who cultivate truly. Those who recite the Buddha's name, those who recite sutras, those who are vegetarian, these people will be able to remain. AIDS, the scourge of humanity. Venerable Master's talk at Gold Wheel Sagli Monastery, Los Angeles, August 16, 1992. Homosexuality opposes the way of yin and yang. The spiritual mantra of great compassion offers a chance for life. Editor's note. On August 14, the Venerable Master lectured at the Sagli city of 10,000 Buddhas, on the terminal disease which has tied doctors' hands, and caused people to pale at its mention, AIDS, and an alarming new illness, the new pneumonia. After 2 days on August 16, the Venerable Master again addressed this topic at Gold Wheel Monastery in Los Angeles, crying out to wake up the people of the world to this great crisis which threatens all of humanity, and exhorting everyone to recite the great compassion mantra and the Shurangama mantra to avert the crisis and preserve world peace. We should follow the saying, if you can renew yourself one day, then renew yourself every day. Each day we should go forward a step. Every day we should advance some, otherwise we will waste our life in vain. We should recite the great compassion mantra and the Shurangama mantra. The great compassion mantra can cure all illnesses. It's said, the great mantra of great compassion penetrates heaven and earth. When you recite the great compassion mantra, the heavens and hells will all take note of it. The more you recite, the more efficacious the response will be. However, you have to recite with constancy. You should not choose lotuses today and peonies tomorrow, and be unable to concentrate on one. If you can concentrate on one, it's said, concentration results in efficacy. Scatteredness results in nothing. I remember when a village named Lujia Yufang in northeastern China suffered an epidemic after the Japanese had surrendered. This epidemic led to several tens of people died every day, so several hundreds would be dead after 10 days. In one household of 11, there were 13 deaths in 3 days. How could there be 13 deaths in a household of 11 people? It was because there were also a relative who had come to visit the sick family, not knowing that when they got there they would die along with the others. This was a really severe epidemic. At that time, I took 4 11 or 12-year-old boys with me to this village to recite the great compassion mantra for the sake of the villagers. After we had walked all around the village reciting the great compassion mantra 108 times, the epidemic mysteriously disappeared. From this, I knew that the response from reciting the great compassion mantra is inconceivable. Now we have come to the Dharma ending age. What is Dharma ending? It means the Dharma is about to fade away and trail off. Few people have real faith in Buddha, and the Buddhists are slandering the Buddha, the Dharma and the Sangha. How can this be called believing in Buddha? This is called believing in demons. Believing in demons, they come to destroy the Buddha Dharma. And so all kinds of evil phenomena appear in this world. Be they natural disasters, man-made calamities, or the spread of epidemics. Natural disasters include swarms of locusts, droughts, and floods. Man-made calamities include plane crashes, derailed trains, and car collisions, all happening without any apparent reason and resulting in a multitude of human crises. Then there are the earthquakes which have been occurring everywhere, frightening people. But people only know how to become scared when the catastrophes occur. They don't know to look for the root of it. Natural disasters do not belong to nature. Nature has no disasters. It is the human species which suffers disasters. Man-made disasters are disasters which we bring upon ourselves. Earthquakes occur because people are fond of war, have big tempers, and kill countless people. Do you want to die? Do you like to kill people? Fine, we can all die together. And so the earthquakes. These are all various kinds of evil phenomena. We people, why do we fail to investigate and find out where the root is at? Let me tell you all that these natural disasters, man-made calamities, and earthquakes, all the various accidents of planes crashing, train derailing, ships sinking, and cars colliding, are all created by the minds of people. People's minds are not as they used to be, and virtue and morality have deteriorated, and so these unusual phenomena have appeared. The most frightening thing in the human world now is homosexuality. Homosexuality is a practice which opposes the life principle of the universe, which goes against the creative energies of yin and yang, and which violates the laws of the nation. This kind of behavior will cause the country to perish and the human race to become extinct. If the country perishes, then it's no longer a country, and the human race is also cut off. Although homosexuals are so infatuated with one another, they cannot reproduce, so the seeds of the human race will be lost. To plant corn, seed corns are required. To plant melons, melon seeds are needed. To plant beans, bean seeds are needed. Not only do corn and beans have seeds, everything has seeds. Humans also have human seeds. If the human seeds are destroyed, then humans will all perish, and humanity will come to an end. One yin and one yang is caved the way. Extreme yin or extreme yang is caved illness. Now, homosexual conduct has already incurred punishment from the heavens, yet the homosexuals aren't even aware of it. What kind of heavenly punishment have they provoked? Well, as soon as they engage in homosexual behavior, there are problems. This is because yang, the male or positive principle, mutually overcomes yang, and yin, the female or negative principle, mutually overcomes yin. Just take a look at a magnet, which has a negative yin side and a positive yang side. There has to be one negative and one positive for the two to be sucked together. If both sides are positive, they cannot be drawn together. If both sides are negative, it's not easy for them to be attracted to each other. From the study of matter, we can deduce the principle of yin and yang, which cannot favor one and neglect the other. The Book of Change says, one yin and one yang is called the way. Extreme yin or extreme yang is called illness. When yin and yang harmonize together, this is the way. When yin and yang do not harmonize, illness results. The practice of homosexuality has produced AIDS. Some say AIDS originated in Africa, but Africa is not the source of AIDS. The origin of AIDS is homosexuality. When homosexuals catch this disease, they have no medicine to treat it, and no way to cure it. The doctors all have their hands tied, with no strategy for dealing with it. What kind of disease is AIDS? It's an epidemic which cannot be cured by any medicine. This is called knowing something cannot be done, yet insisting on doing it anyway. Attempting to cure it by force, they not only fail to cure AIDS, there are still people studying AIDS right now, trying to find a way to cure it. Alas. But what happened is that from AIDS came another AIDS, which is pneumonia. This pneumonia is even more vicious than AIDS. Once you catch it, this illness can be transmitted through the mere shaking of hands. If the sick person merely opens his mouth to speak, he can pass the disease to you. Not only ordinary people have no way to treat this disease, even among the doctors and nurses. In the last year alone in the US, nearly 20,000 have died from the new variety of pneumonia. There's no way to avoid it, even face masks don't work. When there is body contact, the infection is transmitted. It can even be passed through the air. This kind of illness is more devastating than the atomic bomb. It's more devastating than the hydrogen bomb. That's why this is a catastrophe of epidemic proportions. Now that this epidemic has struck, not only do men have this disease, a great number of women have also been infected. And not only do women have it, even babies are getting born with this kind of pneumonia and with AIDS. Just look how terrifying this is. Throughout the world now, if we count it up, we find that the number of people with AIDS and this pneumonia is not small. For some are infected with the germs of pneumonia while still in the womb. That's why all over the world, the final days of the human race have arrived. The so-called final days means that all will be annihilated, all will disappear. Among the human population in the entire world, more than half are infected with the germs of this disease. So when this disease breaks out, it will be like an overwhelming deluge which cannot be stopped by anyone. So what should the human race do when it encounters this kind of calamity? We should recite the Great Compassion Mantra with the utmost sincerity and earnestness. The Buddha said that the Great Compassion Mantra can cure the 84,000 illnesses of the world. All the 84,000 kinds of diseases are covered, including AIDS and pneumonia are also part of it. We should bring forth a mind of utmost sincerity, and be as earnest as when we are eating, as earnest as when we are dressing, and as dedicated as we are to sleeping, so much so that we cannot miss any. We have to merge the Great Compassion Mantra into our daily activities, so that it becomes an integral part of our everyday life. If we can do this, then AIDS will be afraid and pneumonia will also be afraid. But this requires our utmost sincerity. Over half of the human population in the world is going to perish, and those who will be left will be people who cultivate the way, who cultivate truly, those who recite the Buddha's name, those who recite sutras, those who are vegetarian. These people will be able to remain. I'm not saying this to terrify you, It's just that the time has come when I can no longer refrain from shouting and crying out, to tell all of you that this current age is not a time of peace. It is very dangerous, and each morning we have no guarantee that we will see the evening, for the danger can come at any moment.